This is a quick tutorial on how to use Google Maps. This should be the same for whether you're using an iPhone or an Android or any other phone that has the Google Maps app. And so I just wanted to show you some quick and easy things to understand that you can show your team, and that will be useful for you as well. So, as you can see at this frame, we are looking at Shibuya Station. So, let's say I wanted to go from Shibuya Station to Tokyo Skytree. What would I do? Well, first of all, you can just click Shibuya Station, and you'll see all of these different lines here that come from Tokyo Station, going through Tokyo Station. And if you wanted to, you could actually click one of these, and you can see the whole list of train stations here. If you are ever curious about it, or if you are just trying to figure out some information. In this case, this train line is a loop line, so it goes indefinitely. So as you can see here on the Saikyo line for Osaki, this has a beginning and an end, and you can see the order of that. So that's really easy to kind of figure out which way you need to go and where the trains are headed at the moment. Beyond this, you can go ahead and click directions, and it will automatically put the location that you selected in the second slot here. So you can see Shibuya with the little red marker to the left of it. If you want to make Shibuya the place where you're starting from, just click these arrows on the right side, and it'll swap it up to the top bar there, and then you can put in a location that you want to go to. So we're going to put in Skytree. And that's going to give you a couple of options. First, let's just look from the top going down what your options are here. So you see a little car icon there, that's if you're driving. Motorcycle if you're taking a motorcycle, which I don't know if anyone will. For public transport, they use a public transport train. And then if you're going to walk there, you can use the little walk thing, and it will change the path of what you need depending on what makes sense. So, two really important details that you can pay attention to are, one, the departure or arrival time. You can actually adjust these. So let's say you need to be somewhere at a specific time. You can figure out how much time you need to buffer to get there. And let's say we want to be at Tokyo Skytree at 2 p.m., but that means we need to give ourselves a little bit of time probably just to make sure. So let's say 1:50. So now that looks forward in the schedules that it has in its database and pulls out the route that you need to take. And you can see here, I need to leave at 1:07 from Shibuya Station in order to get there just before 2 o'clock for the Hanzumo line. Another option you can tweak is in the options section here. You can tell it to prioritize your best route, your fewest transfers, least walking, wheelchair accessible, and lowest costs. So that really allows you to manage your finances or your time even better. You see here with each of these lines here, there's a amount of time that will take here on the right side, and how much that trip is going to cost in yen. So that is also important information for you if you're trying to budget your time and your money well. That's just really helpful. And then you can see here, this first line, the Hanzumo with the purple, there are no transfers. But in the second line, the Ginza line and the Asakusa line, there is a transfer. So let's look at that. So this is more information for you to be able to sort through, but let me help you kind of think through this here. So you were supposed to get on the Ginza line at Shibuya Station at 1:07, and you see here it says platform 2 in the local train. Those are some really important pieces of information for you because it tells you where to stand and what type of train to look for. And so with a local train, it's going to stop at every stop, but maybe if you happen to get on a semi-express or an express, those stop at fewer stops, which helps it to go faster. So you need to pay attention to those things as you're getting on the train as well. The nice thing about Google is they've added some other data that's really helpful. So it tells you at this time there's usually few empty seats. So you can see on the platform each number of where the cars are going to be within a train, and that way you can line up where you want to get on as you get on the train. And so the number 4 car for the fastest transfer, which means when you get to your destination where you're going to transfer, if you happen to be in the number 4 car, which you can choose to be if you want to, you will actually be able to get to the stairwell or the escalator or the exit, whatever you need to do to make your transfer even easier. And also, if you expand this, you'll see the ride is 7 stops, and it tells you what those stops are. So if you get lost or distracted, you can always look at this and know where you are in that process of getting to that station that you want to get to. Here you'll also see a transfer. You can actually click this map logo on the far right and see what that transfer looks like within the station. So it looks like you're going to have to go basically all the way across the station here to get to the train that you want to get to. So once you get onto that next train, again, it tells you this information that's really helpful for you. The end destination, so in this case, end destination for this train would be Narita Airport Terminal 1, but obviously you don't want to go all the way out there if you're just trying to go to Skytree. It'll tell you also the platform and what the type of train that you are going to board is going to be called. You want to get to Oshiage Skytree Station here, and you're going to see here a little yellow mark that says exit via A2. That is the station exit, not the gate itself, but when you get outside the gate, you're looking for A2, and that's going to bring you up to the surface level most likely and bring you as close as possible to your destination. And again, if you click that little map icon, the end of this salmon colored line here is that A2 exit. And so you'll come up to the street level and you'll follow these directions. It looks a little goofy because it's trying to path. It might also be partially underground. So you just have to kind of play with that a little bit with Google Maps, but it should be pretty straightforward. Then, if you look here at the bottom, again, it tells you what your arrival time is, how much that cost, and then if you even want to, you can have it alert you when it's time to transfer. It'll track where you are, and then when you get to that, for example, in this case, Shibuya Station, it'll tell you, hey, it's time to get off, and it'll give you a little prompt or a notification to remind you. You can also add these things to your calendar, so if you are trying to do some planning at the beginning of the week and you know exactly where you're going to be when you're going to be there, you can go ahead and plan those things in your calendar and share those with your team. So the last thing that will be helpful for you is, let's say you're trying to catch up with some of your team members, and you say, hey, let's meet at a specific location. There's 2 things you can do. First, if the place that you want to meet at has an actual location on Google Maps, you can just click it. So by clicking it, you can expand it here, you can see there's photos and some other information here. Pretty straightforward Google Maps stuff here. But you can also, from there, do directions from where you are, and that's easy to get to. But more importantly, you can share. So that share will allow you to take that link for this in Google Maps, and everyone can access that location. You just tell them, click this link, and then click directions, and it should take them to where they need to be. Alternatively, you can just select a place. So let's say a lot of times these bus stops are a little finicky, so you might want to say, hey, let's meet near this bus stop right here. So if you tap on the screen with a long press, it'll do a thing called dropping a pin. So it's dropped a pin. It doesn't have any special name associated with it or anything like that. And it does the same thing. You might get a street view where you can look around in a 360 view, but other than that, there won't be much information other than the actual GPS location for that. And again, you can click the share button, which looks like this box with an arrow coming out of it, the top right here. And you can copy the link for that and share that with anybody, send it to them through a messenger app, and then click it and find where you are or where you want to meet. So I hope that this is a helpful run through for you, or a reminder, or especially when it comes to Tokyo, just a useful tool for you to be able to navigate Tokyo well and safely and timely and affordably. If you have questions, always feel free to ask, but the features that I've shown you today are the essentials and will serve you well during your time here in Japan.